It is now my honor to introduce our 2025 commencement speaker, Dave Boyle, who is a loyal alumnus who has long championed what it means to be a Springfield College graduate. Dave Boyle, class of 1983, is a lifelong servant to both his profession and community. With more than 45 years of experience in management, sales, and event security, Dave has contributed to major international events like the Olympics and the World Cup, while also running his own business and serving as vice president of Martignetti Companies. His commitment to education, service, and humanics is evident in his decades of volunteer leadership and his long-time involvement with the college. A proud father and familiar face at Springfield College events, Dave embodies the values that we celebrate today. So please give a warm welcome to Dave Boyle.
I wrote that myself. I hope you appreciate that. I'm going to go a little off cue here for a second. First, the gentleman who sang the national anthem. I've worked with some amazing singers over the course of 45 years. That was one heck of a job. So wherever you are, congratulations. Secondly, when you public speak, they tell you don't follow children or animal acts, but they didn't tell me I was going to follow a kid that was that good. If I was like 21 years old trying to do this, I probably would have been, doing one of these type of things. So again, to that young man, X, wherever you are, outstanding. So I've got to try to keep the theme alive here. Good morning, Springfield College. There we go. I know a couple might be moving a little slow. I remember my night before I graduated, so we're all there. Thank you, and welcome to our graduates, mums and dads, brothers and sisters, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and anyone else who is here to recognize this great achievement. I even brought some friends. A special thank you to Dr. Cooper, our faculty, our staff, our administration, who make this great day possible. Let us also thank our host, the Mass Mutual Center, and their staff for making this a perfect and unforgettable day. So thank you. I did park almost in Holyoke, but I got here. It's okay. I'm doing pretty good. I'm sure many of you are wondering, who's this guy standing up in front of all of you? Great question. You have the right to ask. I'm not famous. I'm not a world leader or a famous politician for that matter. I've never even written a book. What I want to tell you is I am the you of the future. Some 40 years or so after you leave this great institution, I tried to live our humanics philosophy every day. Trust me, I was probably as shocked as you are that Dr. Cooper asked me to speak today. I jokingly told her she called the wrong Boyle, and I'd be happy to give her my brother Mike's cell number. I'm sure many of you know who Mike Boyle is. He's SC class of 81, grad 82. He owns Mike Boyle Strength and Conditioning. Mike won a ring with the Red Sox in 2013. He's also my idol. I followed him to SC, always to be known as Mike's brother. I think most of the faculty here would say, oh, that's Mike's brother. I'm Dave, for those of you who haven't met me 40 years ago. He's probably the most well-known strength coaches in the world and always has SC students interns. And you guys intern with my brother? I really can't see that. Is there any guys out there? Oh, come on, there had to be one or two. There are a few people in the audience today who helped me become the person I am, and I believe they're here. Dr. Polito is here today. Dr. Polito, are you sitting down over there somewhere? There he is. I'm kind of looking at the lights here, so I'm trying. I don't know if a lot of you guys understand this, but Dr. Polito and his lovely wife, Claire, and an unbelievably great group of distinguished professors hold a fundraiser twice a year to raise money for the students, believe it or not, who've run out of money, and they help pay the way. I'm blessed that I was asked to help in a small way. I know this year, between the two events, we raised over $36,000 that went to people in this audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Humanics in action. We try to teach people to develop their spirit, mind, and body, service above self. This gentleman not only talks the talk, but he walks the walk. Thank you, sir, and your colleagues for all you do. Thank you very much. He was also my physics teacher when I was here. Don't ask him what my grade was. I'd appreciate that. To a Board of Trustee member who I thought was going to be here today, a friend of mine, Sue London, thank you. You always showed me what I call the Springfield way. And I had a mentor, Mike West. He was class of 65. You know, I think he'd be so proud of me here today. But Sue gave back to this school. I wish she was here. I think she would truly enjoy this moment. I'm proud to call her my friend. All right, this is where I get to get a little bit of fun. I get to give a shout out. Morgan Barnes, where are you hiding? Morgan, stand up. Again, I'm looking at the lights. I really can't see you. Morgan. They're supposed to stand up, a hand waving and 400 people. That's not fair. I know Morgan's parents, Kristen and Matt, are here today and are quite proud of her. I took Morgan here for her campus tour, a great girl from a great family, and now truly embarrassed, and her friends are probably letting her hide under a chair. I will tell you more about my life later, but let me tell you, her dad has backed me up in many a jam. No one else had one in my corner. Matt, thank you, buddy, wherever you are. I love you. All right, here's one of my favorite parts. My niece and godchild, Dr. Tess Chilcott, SC class of 24, is here with her mom, her dad, and her twin sister. Liv, I gotta give you a shout out there. I always tease the girls about being underachievers. One's a doctor and one's a lawyer. Again, raised by great parents. I gave Tess her tour of SC also. My closing rate is pretty good. Tess can tell you funny stories about me not being able to identify the classrooms, but I knew where everything else was. We always say Springfield people do the right thing. I'm driving this poor lady on the teleprompter crazy, by the way. She's like this, and we're having fun with this. Springfield people do the right thing. True story. You can't make this up, and believe it or not, a similar story just happened yesterday. She was on her way home from Boston one night when she saw a gentleman on a motorcycle get hit by a car. She could have kept going, as everyone is probably doing 70 miles an hour if you know the Braintree split in Boston. By the grace of God, Dr. Tess Chilcott, another woman who happened to be a nurse, pulled over and saved that man's life. Think about Humanics. You pull over on a major highway in Boston to save a man's life, risking your own. That takes a special, beautiful person. Thank you, Tess. I'm so proud of you. I love you. There is a true SC graduate. Give me a wave, honey. I love you. A bit of an unconventional speech, people. I apologize in advance. I should give a shout out to my old friend, I'm not sure if she's here, Tammy Cadess-Lucy, who ran the alumni office for so many years and always had great SC students take what I call my kids on tours. I'm grateful to you, your staff, the admissions office, and the alumni office. Somewhere in the audience, my older brother and my lovely sister-in-law, Helen, are here. They've made the trip to hear me speak. They drove up from the Cape Cod area. Like my brother Michael, Arthur had a heavy load to bear. He basically became my dad after my dad passed in 1984, right when I graduated. Thank you, big brother. I love you. I'm not sure where you are. I think you might be in the seats over there, but again, I can't see that well. Here comes the tough part for me, guys. Last but certainly not least, there is an old saying that behind every good man is a better woman and a shock mother-in-law. I'm living proof of that. I recently lost the love of my life after 30-plus years together. Karen was the light of my life and the love of my life. She lived the Humanics philosophy more than I did, and I knew she's here with me in spirit. I'm blessed to have my two children here to see this wonderful moment in my life. My daughter Emily and my son Liam should be sitting over there in the seats, but I think actually they both slept in, believe it or not. Gotta love two teenagers. I love you both, and I'm proud of the two of you. If you indulge me for a few minutes, I'm going to go off the ramp here again one time. Believe it or not, I was blinded by an accident last Friday night. So technically, I can't see out of the left side of my eye. I hope to regain my vision. If I don't, when God throws lemons, you make lemonade. So don't feel bad for yourself. Pick yourself up and get moving. So if you indulge me for a few minutes, and I hope I can tie this whole story together so it makes sense as to why I'm here. This is a true story. It all starts in 1978 when my high school guidance counselor told my mother not to waste her money and don't send me to college. She honestly said my biggest decision in life would be paper or plastic, and that I'd be bagging groceries at Mal's Supermarket in Malden Square. What my guidance counselor did not know is that I am the son of a very proud Marine. My mother, yes, my mother, was a Marine in World War II. They called them BAMs, but I can't tell you what the BAM stood for. I'd get thrown off the stage. So my dad was a military policeman in the Army who would later be my high school principal. Yes, I went to the prom in 1979 with my mom and dad. The main high school building in my hometown of Malden is named after my dad. You talk about a legacy. 34 years of teaching school and being a principal. My father missed 0 days of school. Kids used to be so angry. Mr. Boyle was never absent. You never got a sub. It was kind of tough. So those going into teaching, take a day off, make the kids happy every now and then. Here's one of the things I want to impart to you guys. I said, my parents had a few rules. You take care of people that cannot take care of themselves. You help those who can't help themselves. And you defend those who cannot defend themselves. That's my personal creed. Fast forward to late August in 1979, I think you guys all go through the same thing. I was accepted to SC as I wanted to follow in my brother's footsteps and go to SC. I knew I belonged here. I told Morgan she belonged here. I told Tess she belonged here. You just know. I was a good athlete coming out of high school like many of you. I turned my athletic skills to powerlifting and martial arts, earning a black belt while I was here. These two new skill sets would come in quite handy and shape my life down the road. I remember President Laughlin saying, look to your left and look to your right. One of you will not be here in 4 years. He was right. I came to SC with two good buddies I graduated high school with, Jim Pelosi, Joe O'Keefe. Jim went on to a very successful teaching career and is the godfather to my daughter, Emily. Okie, as we called him back in the Malden days, moved back to Malden. His story does have a happy ending. He got himself back on his feet and is doing well today. But it was amazing that someone could predict one of us wouldn't be there when we got out in '83. I spent my first 3 years with my brother Mike Shadow. I was a good kid, solid kid, involved in a little bit of everything, but I could never escape my brother's persona. He was way smarter than me, a better athlete, and I have to confess, better looking. What I did have was a major support system at SC. I'm giving shout outs to my buddies that are watching this on YouTube or whatever. I lived my 2 years in Lakeside. They called us the cavemen. We were the underground floor. With some of the greatest guys I've ever known. We're still on a group thread to this day. Again, another great shout-out moment to Captain Concord, to Lauren, to Bob, to Johnny O, to Mitch, Roger, Billy, Paul, Mike. Gets a little blurry on me, I'm sorry. I couldn't ask for a better crew of gentlemen to be associated with. To my classmates from '83, thank you one and all, and that'll tie into something in a second. So who's Dave Boyle? I'm a guy that was raised in Malden, Massachusetts, and went to the greatest college in the world. We here at SC change lives, and we change the world. I worked 3 jobs when I was here. I studied and worked my tail off. And where did it get me? Remember my first quote from my high school guidance counselor? Well, I went on to become one of the vice presidents of one of the largest wine and spirits wholesalers in the country. I run national sales for every chain restaurant in New England. We also control 72% of the Anheuser-Busch market. I'm one of the owners of something called the FBS Protection Group. Believe it or not, it stands for Fat Boy Security, and yes, I am Fat Boy. And I have the coolest sweatshirts out there. My nieces will vouch for that, so there we go. I've worked the Olympics. People said you competed. No. Short, fat guys do not compete in Olympics. I did security at the Olympics in '96. That was not the bombing. You guys are too young to remember a lot of that stuff. I've done World Cup soccer. I've done too many concerts and events to count. I'm the president of the Michael West Eastern Mass Springfield College of the Alumni Chapter. I was a Springfield College 2008 Tarbell Medallion winner. It was one of the college's highest honors and one of my greatest achievements and proudest moments. I was recognized in 2019 as the Massachusetts Restaurant Association Business Partner of the Year, an award I'm also quite proud of. I was the first guy ever picked out of 700,000 people. I was picked unanimously. So how cool is that? I'm a former member of the SC Board of Corporators. Most of all, I'm the proud father of Emily and Liam. So why me? Why am I the speaker? Well, I hope to give you some sound advice from a Springfield College graduate. I'm very successful. That is right. I'm extremely successful. That's obnoxious, isn't it? You know why? Because I measure success by friendships and relationships. not dollars, not material goods. I'm going to go off the rails again for a second here and basically say, when you drop dead, nobody's going to sit there and say, hey, do you remember the car that guy drove? Okay? Nobody's going to care. All right? That's just one of those things. So when you leave here today, I want you to do good. I hope you do well, but I want you to do good. I can tell you, I hit the lottery. True story. I won $1 million. Wow, that's funny. That's why even the cheap seats out back couldn't afford the good ones. Kidding. Someone's going to blow my car up when I get out of here. Did it change my life? No, not really. I went from the top of the world to getting whacked 6 months later when Karen was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. They gave us 6 months. She made almost 3 years. There's a song from back in the 60s called I'll Never Find Another You. There is a line in the song that says, if you gave me a fortune, my treasure would be small. I could lose it all tomorrow and never care at all. How true. I had money, but I could not save the love of my life. I will honestly tell you, I'd give back every dime if I could have her back with me and the kids. I really would. I quote many books and stories, but there are a few of my favorites. 2 stories involve my late wife, and if I'm being a little long-winded, I apologize, but this is the moment of my life, guys. Think of this. Did you think in 1979 that I'd be standing up here talking to you guys? I hope to heck one of you ends up like me, and I hope about 400 or 500 of you end up like me. As I said, she was the person with the Humanics philosophy running through her, and I'm going to tell you 2 great true stories. They told a great story at my wife's celebration of life about how a young elementary school, some of these get tough, I'm not going to lie, got off the bus on a frigid October day with no jacket. A police officer working in the bus detail, we live in a small town, said, where is your jacket? And the young girl said she could not get one until Christmas. Well, my wife, who was very involved in PTO scouting, goes shopping to get the girl a coat. She finds a school principal who wants to thank her, and then tells my wife, this is great. Now she can get coats for the girl's 3 brothers. What does my wife do? But go out and buy 3 coats. But here's the thing I tell people, rule number 2 in the Boyle family, you put your name on nothing. It's about integrity. What is integrity? It's doing the right thing, even when you know that no one is watching. I think a bunch of you are all wondering, what's rule number 1, right? See, that's the thing. By the way, rule number 1 for the Boyles is Boyles don't quit. They gave my wife 6 months. She was with us for almost 3 years. She used to say, I can't go yet. I have too much to do. Think of that. Here's a woman with cancer making food for people with cancer and said to me, honey, you have to go deliver this. Mrs. So-and-so has cancer. I'd be kind of looking going, okay, but you do too. But that was my wife. I always think of Jim Valvano, the great coach of NC State, who eventually died from cancer. Great quote, he said, don't give up. Don't ever give up. He's also famous for something called The Speech on ESPN on 30 for 30. Please Google it. It's an amazing speech. It will change your life. One of my other stories involves sports in my hometown. This one's kind of cute. Apparently, our Little League program came up short trying to buy uniforms for the kids. The president of the league walked up to my wife. You always go to the wife. That's a smart thing to do. And asked Karen if she thought I would write a check to help cover the cost of the uniforms. Well, any married guy in the audience, if you want to be happy, you learn 2 words. Yes, dear. The rest is easy. Karen asked me to go out to the car and get our checkbook. She asked the gentleman how much money he needed, and he said $1,000. I asked my lovely wife, how much should I write the check for? Her response was quite clear. $1,000, you dummy. I said, oh. That was my wife. Saw a problem, you fix it. The gentleman said they would name the team after us. We respectfully said, no, thank you. But me being me, I asked him to name it Chico's Bail Bonds. Any parent out there old enough to remember the original Bad News Bears, they were the name of the sponsor of the team. Trivia point, the cute little blonde second baseman was Tanner Boyle, no relation. I always wanted to be the cute Tanner Boyle. It didn't work. My point is do things for the right reason, not to put your name on the back of it or put it in the paper. Do it because it's the right thing to do. It's service above self. For any of you guys in the military, you're going to appreciate this. My dad, being a former military guy, always told me, let your men eat first. You eat last if there's anything left. He said, your men will respect you until the day you die. I always said when I pass away, I want two things said about me. First and foremost, I was a gentleman. Second is, I made a difference. I helped another person. I promised Karen I would do at least one nice thing a day in her honor for a total stranger. I love it. Try it someday. Buy someone in line a cup of coffee and wish them a nice day. You'll see them smile, but they're going to look at you like you're nuts. Remember, folks, smiles are free. It does not cost extra to be nice. I had a few books that influenced my career. Thank you. I think I'm doing okay so far. This isn't bad, you know. But someone said, you're going to be nervous. I said, no, I'm home. I said, 3 weeks after my wife died, I'm off the rails again. Sorry to the lady in back. 3 weeks after Karen passed away, I came up here to do the fundraiser with Dr. Polito. And someone said, how can you do that? I said, I'm home. I belong here. And this place has embraced me from day one. Again, going off the rails. When Karen's wake was held, Springfield College, not only did Dr. Cooper and her husband drive down, they sent 3 vans of people that wanted to be there to help my family get through the grief. That's amazing. That's amazing. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Springfield College. I will tell you that right now. That is who we are. So I said I had a few books that influenced my career. May I suggest you pick them up and read them at your leisure? And believe me, they're not tough reads. If you know my IQ, it's not that hard. The first one, Everything I Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten by Robert Fulghum. You can read it in a night. Simple book of life and life's rules. You're good to go. My second favorite book I read, I was about 10 years old. I'm not sure if anyone remembers the movie Brian's Song. Gail Sayers, Brian Piccolo, but Gail Sayers wrote a book. It's called I Am Third. The Lord is first, my friends are second, and I am third. I always say my family and friends are second, but what a great philosophy to live by. The great country singer Alan Jackson has a line in one of his many songs that says, God gave us many things, faith, hope, and love is the greatest. Think about that for a minute. Love goes a long way, people. Perhaps my favorite line, thank you, one fan over there, thank you. I appreciate that. Said perhaps my favorite line is from the late great singer Harry Chapin, talking to an up-and-coming rock star named Bruce Springsteen. Harry said, I always play 2 nights, one night for me and one night for the other guy. That is Humanics in action, everyone. I will ask a few things before I wrap up. Hopefully some of these words and stories hit a chord with you. 1, remember where you came from. We all started somewhere, but I can tell you that SC helped shape you. Give back, whether it is in dollars, time, guidance. Remember to do good. Always try to see the good. Don't be afraid to pitch in, help out, get your hands dirty. I come back every year for the alumni career night. I look forward to it. I met a young lady named, I think it's Emma. Emma, are you here? I don't know how to say your last name. Is it Gagne or Gagne? You there? There you go. Another one hiding in the corner. Just going to wave so I can barely see her hand. Realize I'm blind in one eye, guys. Work with me here. I hope to have you working in the Pembroke Public Schools. The school committee chairman sitting over there. Hello, Patrick. Thank you for being here. I quote you here. My good friend Patrick Chilcott always says to me, if I get a resume from an SC kid, I'm going to interview him or her. There's a certain type of person who goes to SC. Springfield College made me the person I am today, and I'm forever grateful. Think of what an honor this is for me and my family. I hope 40 years from now, one of you is standing up here and saying how Springfield College made you who you are. Please thank your parents, your family, your friends, a coach, a teacher, whomever helped shape your life. Go out and write your own story. Before I leave, I wanted to have some fun, make this a memorable day. We got to do this kind of cool. And this is the thing I told you. I said the big surprise is coming up. Here we go. Under someone's seat is a maroon ticket. I don't know where. If you would look under your seat right now, take a moment to look. And if you have the maroon ticket, please stand up. Or I'm going to do probably even worse. I'll have you move to the center of the aisle. Okay, can you move out here for a second? You know what, can you walk up towards me? Only as I said, I'm looking into the lights here. It's like being on Broadway. What is your name? Cole? Luke. Luke Temple. Where are you from, Luke? You're from Jersey. Oh, this one's going to really hurt. Oh, this is going to hurt. All right, here's what I'm going to do, and I hope I start a little precedent for Springfield College speakers. I graduated class of 1983. I promised my wife I would do one nice thing a day. I'm going to write you a check today for $1,983.83. So at the end of this, and tell your parents they can wait a second for a picture, you get a payday. Maybe we can meet off to the side, and I will write you that check if that's fair. Is that cool? Yep. Congratulations. Thank you, young man. Thank you for all you do. That kid will change the world. All right, I promise I'll wrap this up. As I end today, I would like to offer you a bit of advice that I was given many years ago as a young salesman, and I hope it does not get me in trouble with the Board of Trustees. I know it will make you a successful person. Every day, I want you to lie, steal, cheat, and drink. Wow, right? The people behind me, I'm not even looking. I don't want to see. My nieces are laughing their tail off over there. But here's the real wisdom in this. I want you to lie with someone you love. I want you to steal someone's heart. I want you to cheat death. And you drink with us because we're family and friends and SC alumni. Thank you all for giving me the thrill of a lifetime. I am forever grateful. Congratulations to the class of 2025. God bless you and be safe.